Boom, we are alive, ladies and gentlemen. This is Tio and the Arcane Bear. We are excited to be chatting with you today. We're going to be going over Bitcoin and in an almost rapid fire sequence through about 15 other altcoins and digital assets. The reason being is I want to just kind of show the speed and efficacy of getting good at some of this stuff. Once you're in the air and flying, it's one of these weird things where juggling is actually easier juggling 3 than it is 2. But anyways, we'll leave it at that. Okay. Bitcoin on the 6 hour, good. Yeah, that's nice of me. A little bit further out than normal, but that's good. Everything still looks healthy. Again, remember the downside to these, well, first off, these much more volatile accumulation ranges compared to where we were when we were getting these tight ranges at 25,000, is there's a lot more room for downside, even just to match like the midway of the trading range itself. So the volatility of the midway of the trading range itself is like 20%, yeah, around 15%. It's quite high, which again always makes certain aspects of this a little bit more, well, we could say risky, because these reaccumulation ranges very quickly can become distribution trading ranges. That's what we want to keep an eye on, is the changeover for when it goes reaccumulation and then turns into distribution. And primarily it's usually becomes these closes below the box, like something like this, and then you just see it would just be a very sharp, basically a downswing, very low. This is what a larger scale distribution pattern would look like. And then you'd maybe even see a reaccumulation pattern like this, and you could go, oh shit, here's a reaccumulation after decline. This is still a potential, although it's not a high probability. What I want to point out today is never neglect the fact that if you're here late, you'll have to go back and watch all of our videos, because we've been making our early investments back here. Well, technically years before this, but more specifically when the pandemic started here. This whole area down here was our main accumulation. So we have very little risk on the table right now, no matter what Bitcoin does. Even if it comes down to $24,000, it doesn't bother me. But more importantly, A, know that that is a possibility, and B, what would change in our thesis to see that? What would we need to see in this reaccumulation range for it to become distribution? The light is still currently green behind me, but I think it's always important to go over that and remind ourselves that, again, look how far we've come. We're quite a ways up here, so don't neglect that. The other thing here too is that we're struggling a little bit with strength to get above the $60,000 area, but humans are very, let's say, simple creatures. This kind of they call it psychological resistance of $60,000. This kicks in for a few reasons. We are very high up. We are already at 10x from $6,000 at this point. So this is important to keep an eye on. Again, any close below the boxes here could signal a larger distribution pattern. Although I don't believe that's the case right now. It's just too early in the market cycle. And again, remember, the real part of the real bull market itself started basically on October 21st. Well, hold on, March 11th was the day the bull market started, but the day we started the bull cycle was around October. So we're only about 150 days into this. I suspect we've got another 100 days in the bull market cycle left. Now, we could make, again, a farther out conjecture that you see a breakdown. If you were to see a reaccumulation pattern here, again like this before we broke up again, this is a big possibility. You could see this big ass cup and handle that came through, and then this was the buffer range that we never again went below. So we want to keep a really close eye, because this could turn into a much larger trading range where you could go, oh, this is my primary support, this was the buying climax, and here I've got the spring before a much bigger breakout. This is a potential, although again, I've said for many months now, I think we're going to $100,000 by August. I still stand by that. And again, because reaccumulation and distribution can look so similar, we always want to keep a really, really close eye on these final stages, again, of where we are in the trading range. Personally, I think we're in phase C, right before the finalization of basically phase E. Now, don't chart horizontal, like in this inclined vertical, as these are technically two horizontal trading ranges. There's the first one here and the second one here. I believe they're part of each other effectively. So you had A, B, C, and I think we're in the final stages of D, which again could even bring us as low as 50,000 before going higher to match this lower trend line effectively. So those are my scribbles on Bitcoin for the day. Everything looks healthy for now, and again that can always change in an instant. But even still, I think even if we were to see a breakdown, it would likely just be a temporary, well, and it wouldn't be a micro distribution, it would be a medium distribution. It would do something like this, and then it'd be like, okay, it's a reaccumulation after decline. And we actually may just witness that this is again an entirely bigger trading range. I still think the bullish sentiment up this way is a place to keep an eye on. So somewhere around maybe 53,000, we come back in for a touch and a final scare. Ethereum as well, looking weak, not being able to go above the top of our trading range here. So not a great sign, but again, not a bad sign either. I was hoping for more strength to get us above 2,000, but here again we've got Bitcoin at 60 and Ethereum at 2,000, both these psychologically rounded numbers. So keep that in mind as well. Chainlink looks good actually. Very nice. Looks like it's being stuck below the creek. I feel less worried when I'm down near the bottom of the trading range potentially, but either way, I hold a position in Link still. I'll hold a position in a lot of things now. I just took the company just took a bunch of a broader perspective take on the whole ecosystem. But that's okay. One step at a time. Avalanche has been looking good. Yeah, watch me watch on the 15-minute. We jumped all the way up to 40 bucks the other day. We are now above the bottom of the box and holding along the top of the primary support. So I think we're going to get a nice, it looks like a really big rounded bottom, or potentially a cup and handle starting to form here. Again, these are leading indicators in my mind that the market is still very bullish. It's just about timing. And right now we're in this kind of middle phase. People don't really know what's going on. And not only that, we're actually at the very bottom of the channel, I think, for this widening megaphone. And this might have just been like a freak kind of blowout top as the Ethereum bridge was kind of recognized. So everything looks bullish in the rest of the sector too, which is obviously, I think, a lead indicator for me for Bitcoin that things are going to remain bullish. Here we've got a night for FTT. We've got a nice backup phase above the middle of our, above the top of our trading range. Looks good. With M stable, we are right at the bottom of our channel, which is nice to see. Same with Kava. We've jumped up into the secondary part of the trading range now. I do suspect we get a run maybe that where we basically just go sideways for the rest of this trading range here. And guys, you know, even though I'm kind of like scribbling on my screen, if you are new to this stuff, go through the effort and draw all of your signals so you know where you are. I've been doing this for a while now, so I get not lazy, but I get artistic about what I'm doing. I don't really need to get it exactly right. I just need to be close, and that's good enough for my style and strategy. So KNC hit right at the top of the channel and then drop back down. We could really easily come back to test 249, but I think we're looking at how bullish is the market, especially because this appears to me as it was an inverse head and shoulders that kind of sent us up. As soon as we broke out of the neckline, we went straight up. So I think this is again a new trading range, basically moving us in sideways for a little bit longer before we get a real confirmation or denial potentially of these things too. But nothing worrying in any of these. Again, balance right up at the top of its megaphone as well. Sushi swap, I can't really tell. Looks quite powerful. Again, the widening megaphone pattern was the very obvious sexy thing to have taken a position in. And that's why we're charting. We kind of always pair up the Jesse Livermore style the Jesse Livermore style is kind of attached with the Wyckoff style. I think it's a really powerful way to go. Band, again, right at the bottom of the channel. I've added more positions here. although the first positions were in this area around $5 to $10. A dot, I took more positions in as well at the near the bottom of this range. Again, just all these beautiful bullish patterns. I can't really tell if I'm being deceived by the market. I'm gonna wait. Obviously, if we get any real change of character, I think it'll be quite noticeable. But for now, everything looks ready and primed to go. Same thing with synthetics here too. And what I like about this is that if you go and you do the homework, you know there's a lot of big players that are good at what they do. And then when you see these really strong patterns repeat over and over and over and over again, I think it's indicative of like a well-educated composite operator. I think the clearer the signal for these types of things, the better the operators are there in that sector. Now, GRT, on the other hand, has been very, very volatile, but we've seen this before, where the top of the trading range, and it was an avalanche, the top of the trading range just becomes extremely volatile. We saw that with Bitcoin as well. So I'm temporarily just being patient. I did add a few more spots with GRT here just because, although I am worried about the release and the liquidity of GRT. So once we see a break out of the box, I'm closing out all of my initial. Oh no, actually I've already closed out my initial for GRT. So I closed out my initials for GRT already. I did add a few more the other day just because I was feeling ballsy, but not anything in comparison with where we started down here. And that's it. Oh yeah, someone had asked in the beginning of the chat to take a look at Matic. So Matic has been in our long-term venture capital play for quite some time. It was amazing to see how well patience pays off. A lot of our entries for Matic, Fetch, Seller, One were all made back in August. And I started learning about the DeFi space more. So that's where a lot of the new investments have been, but great to see Matic up over 2,500%. It's absolutely fantastic. It's even up higher than that, but this is just a very limited data sheet that I've got right now. Always when we're this high up, it gets a little bit more concerning. Obviously, just more room for risk for, let's say, entering a position of some kind. I think more importantly, though, what you want to keep an eye on, well, again, it's too early in this trading range to tell. Much like we've seen with GRT, Avalanche, and a few others, you could see this big, very volatile section come into the. I wouldn't, if I didn't have a position here, I wouldn't touch it yet. It's just too hot. Unless you're just like, oh, I want to buy some that I don't care if I lose. Well, then yeah, go for it. Anyways, we're going to leave it at that. If you are new to the channel, please go to the links down below and follow us on Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and the rest. Yeah, it's been a pleasure. Glad we got to do a live stream. I have a very gorgeous friend that lands here tomorrow afternoon, so you might get some vlogs this week instead of market updates, but Tio's taking a birthday week. It's been full of beautiful women and amazing waterfalls, so I'm quite pleased with March so far. I love this time of year here. But yeah, I'll be driving to the city and we'll be coming back home. So hopefully I will see you guys in the evening time tomorrow. So mark that on your calendars. Sunday night in the evening, I'll do a live stream. And thank you guys for all your support. I hope you enjoyed the clarinet yesterday. That was a little bit of a treat. I do have it beside me here. Oh yeah, you guys want me to look at Cardano? Yeah, I can. I think because we put it on the screen. You know, everyone gets usually too hyper emotional. Part of the thing I want you to do is I want you to do it yourself. I want you to learn how to do all this stuff so you can do it yourself. Like the point of the channel is so that you can all learn to do it, not so I can do it for you. No, but I will take a quick look at Cardano. What I would love to see is you guys posting on my Twitter about what you see instead of me having to tweet about it. Yeah, I remember this. We had a nice run up to the top of the triangle, to the top of the channel. Nothing interesting. It's entirely boring, effectively as well. I don't know. You could say it's entirely boring right now, right? There's nothing fun going on here. Now, that's an ugly color. Horribly ugly color. Let's go nice green. Okay. So I think when you're watching these horizontal channels or these trading ranges, whatever you'd like to call them, fucking subway, railway stations, first off, primarily, you want to usually try to aim for entries below the POC, just the least risky. That way, if you do have downside, you're limited because you shouldn't be building all your entries up here. You're just adding more risk to your plate. But this was very clearly a retail buy signal. We knew this was going to get thrown back down. This is nothing out of the ordinary. That was clearly retail buyers, and now they're being sold on by institutional sellers who want to probably try to accumulate back near this point of control to build it out. It's not deep enough yet, so they're going to draw the price back down for sure. This was just, oh my God, the listing on Coinbase the price is gonna go up. It's $8 Cardano, blah, blah. You know, got little do the newbies recognize. Like if you do a macro study, even from October, we're already up 1,300%. It's hard to go a lot higher. It's not impossible, and we have seen that with things like Fetch and Harmony, but more importantly, the patience throughout the game. If you're new here, though, just making sound, stable kind of venture capital investments can really, really do you well. Anyways, thank you guys all for joining us. This is Tia with the Arcane Bear. Give us that thumbs up if you like this content. If you're new to the family, please subscribe by hitting that little bell button and turn the notifications on always, because you want to know what I'm thinking. I hope you guys find these calm, cool, collected crypto updates useful. Leave your thoughts, your comments, questions down below. I'm very excited for my week right now, ladies and gentlemen. This is I have a big crush on. I've had a crush on this girl for a while. We met a few years ago. Anyways, not like I don't have a crush on her. Like I'm stalking her and shit. Like this was mean. There's so many. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyways, we'll see you guys again in a few days. Wait, hold on, a few days. Hopefully tomorrow evening.